Okay. Oh man. Right, let's try that again. Woo! It's autumn, it's wet, we're back in the woods, let's get set up. So I'm just grabbing a shot now. You probably recognise the scene. I'm gonna shoot and talk because the light is actually quite nice at this moment in time, you know. So this is a location that I'm back here now, probably the 6th time that I've returned here, and probably the 3rd time that I've brought you guys back. And the only reason is just because I keep thinking I can get a better version of this image, of this sort of panorama. Wow, it's beautiful. So the image that I got here was probably about 3 weeks ago, the first image that I got here, and I really liked that version. It was dark, it was gloomy, it was chucking it down with rain. I think that might be my favourite even after autumn's over. However, I'm back here today just to try and capture some of the colours. I think where we're at now in this particular location is optimum peak autumn colour, you know. It's stunning, and that's why I'm just giving it a go. You know, I'm in this location today anyway. I'm going to see how it turns out. So same concept, I've got the 55-300 lens on the front, and I'm at 55mm, but I'm doing a panel from right to left. So starting out this oak tree and ending just in front of my camera there, you'll see a beautiful beech tree off in the distance. And I said recently that's my favourite part of this whole shot. It is stunning. We've got this beautiful depth throughout the whole photograph. I've kept my focus on the oak tree throughout the whole frame, so it'll kind of blur off ever so slightly at f9 into the background, but yeah, the depth is just absolutely beautiful. I find there's so much for the eye to look at in this photograph. Another thing that I like as well, in this photograph, I don't think it would have been on my last image, but over there where that beech tree is, we've just got this scattering of orange, rusty brown coloured autumn leaves, which is adding, you know, a little bit more vibrancy to that section of the image. It's obviously telling a story of what time of year we're at, and it matches really nicely with all the beautiful ferns down here in the foreground of the same colour. So yeah, not 100% sure if this is going to be a better version. What I'll do now is I'll try and show you both images. So the one that I got about 3 weeks ago, and then this one here now. I'll let you guys be the judge. Comment below which is your favourite, the gloomy one or the autumnal one. So before I carry on, I just wanted to say a quick thank you really, about something that I don't talk about too much, and that is my Ko-fi page. I checked it the other day. It's madness. I'm on like 20% of that goal for my Republic of Ireland trip, or, you know, obviously that's not going to happen at the minute, but like I said when I sort of told you about that in the first place, I don't care when it happens. You know, if you are kind enough to donate to that cause, I don't care if it takes 5 years. Thank you so much, honestly. I put that up ages ago, I wasn't really expecting much. Checked it the other day and I think I must be on like 20% of the goal. madness. So I'm so incredibly grateful for that. Same like I was with my Lewis and Harris trip. Yeah, like that means the world. You know, I'll be able to go there and make some cool content for this YouTube channel. And obviously, there's no denying that'd be an amazing trip just for myself. If it's something you'd like to donate to, I'll put a link in the video description below. But so appreciated. You know, thank you very, very much. So I'm going to continue this exploring this woodland, but I'm going to actually return back to a location that I was probably about a week ago, and I'll put the image up on the screen. It's those two silver birch trees. Took this particular shot with my little Canon G9X. As I was taking it, I said I'd love to return to these subjects with my long lens and my big camera and try and better that image as well, which I think is something that I could do today. Also, when I took that shot as well, I said it'd be nice with a bit of side light every now and again today. Like you saw when I took my first image, we're getting some breaks in the clouds. Excuse me. So I think I can do just that. I think I can better that image. So let's head up there now. It's actually ages away. It's up a massive hill through here until we get out of the forest. So bit of a trek. We best crack on. Tell you what, that was one hell of a banana, straight out of the top drawer. You know what? Autumn is quality, like proper. I've seen a few people just walking around in the forest, and I tell you what, I'm just gonna grab a shot here. I think if I wasn't doing photography, I'd now be spending a lot more time in the outdoors, you know. That's a gift that landscape photography has given me. And I think especially this time of year, everything just looks amazing, especially, you know, in this sort of landscape, this sort of location, woodland. The colours are just spectacular, unreal. I mean, this is the most inspired I've ever felt with my photography in autumn. I think so far, hopefully it continues a little bit longer. It's been a cracking autumn in this part of the UK at least. So we're looking back at my silver birch trees. I've got a bit of a confession to make. There's actually 3. There's not 2. I didn't even notice last time. There's one kind of off in the background a little bit, but it's one of them where all the leaves are kind of merged into each other. So there's 2 main trunks anyway, and it kind of it looks like 2. That's my excuse. I'm really glad I've come back, you know. I think this is going to be a much better image. I said last time, I put this image up on the screen for reference now. I said I'd like to get tighter in on the 2 trees. With the 55 to 300, and that's exactly what I'm doing. It's working so much better. So I'm in this time about 80 or 90 mil by the looks of it. I've also decided that I'm going to go for a 4x5 crop instead of a square, and that's for one reason. If you imagine the 2 or 3 trees as being one subject, they're a lot longer than they are wider. Okay, so I think that means that a sort of 4x5 or 8x10 crop is going to suit a lot more. You know, get a little bit more on the top and the bottom. I think it's going to feel a lot more, the balance is going to feel a lot better, you know. Second to that, as to why I'm going for this crop, is we've got another really vibrant yellow tree off in the background. I think it might be another silver birch or maybe a willow tree, but it matches quite well with these 2, and instead of trying to crop it out or ignore it or, you know, let it wind me up, I'm going to include it in the image. So I need a little bit more on the top. So I've tried to position myself and the camera in a way where I'm looking through the 2 silver birch trees, and that other yellow tree is in the centre of them. It looks fantastic. So f7.1, I've focused on one of the silver birch trunks really, so that's going to be nice and pin sharp. And then I'm getting f7.1, so we get a little bit of a bokeh, a little bit of a blur as we move back in the image, you know, deeper into the image, away from the trees. 1/100th of a second. Absolutely wonderful. The gorgeously vibrant, the leaves, and the incredible silver trunk. So yeah, like I said, really glad that I've returned for this shot. So I'll show you that one now, and then I want to get to another location just around the corner here that I've not visited before. So hopefully we can find a composition around there as well that is brand new. So just quickly guys, before we move on to the next spot, I want to show you two versions or two previews of that exact image that was just taken there about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Bearing in mind, obviously there's been no post-processing to this at all, but I want to show you the importance of light in a really, really subtle way here, okay? So two previews. This is the first one. Look how beautiful and golden that looks, especially when compared with that. I find that absolutely astounding. These were taken about 5 or 6 minutes apart, if that. Look at the difference in light. This one, obviously, we've got this kind of golden glow that just makes everything in that image look beautiful, so much better. Whereas this one, quite blue, quite dull and flat, and that's for the sake of waiting, like I said, about 5 minutes. Just thought that was pretty interesting. Thought I'd show you, but let's crack on.
Internet, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected.
So that looked like it was a cool shot. Yeah. I know that we get a few vistas in this location, but I didn't think I'd really be able to make anything of them, but I think that one looked alright, telephoto lens. This is probably going to be quite a long video, but I don't care because I'm having such a mint little time. A subscriber, a guy called Kenny, apparently knows this area quite well, and he left me some instructions to get to a really cool subject. So I'm going to follow them instructions now. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny wrote, "Hi, my name is Kenny. I've explored," my dad's called Kenny, it's probably not my dad though. "I've explored this area a lot of late. I live in Ulverston, not far away. I found a mint place close to where you were, 5 minutes in from the 2 silver birch trees. Carry on down 200 yards, that's what I've done, where the big gap in the wall is, where the through gate is." There's the big gap, there's the big gap. Sorry guys. "There is a gate to the left of the wall also which opens up into a brackened area." Look at this, guys. Oh, I'm really sorry, that's bad. There we go, all over the place. There is the gate with the brackened area. Head to hardly visible bracken-laden path to the left, running parallel with normal footpath. So I need to be going back up that way. Head slightly to right. I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so I've run parallel with the wall. What next? Head slightly toward 1 o'clock/2 o'clock. That is some good instructions. From the wall line, which is here, and it raises up towards high parts of the forest fell tops. Let's go. So we're nearly there now. Where are we at here? You go up, and the third raise, or the third highest point, you will find a very eerie group of gnarly, low, twisted trees. Yeah, I think we're nearly there. Oh, I think I found it. There is a very eerie group of gnarly, low, twisted trees with some great stone mounds also dotted around. It feels very druidy and ancient, almost a spiritual area, and a very haunting atmosphere there. Yeah, I think this is it. There's like a little group, a collection of, I think, yew trees. Gorgeous. I'm shattered. I don't know why I've been running. It took me ages to find this, about an hour, but I don't know why I've been running. Kenny, thank you very much, my friend. Email me your address. I'd like to send you a calendar of mine, free of charge. I appreciate your thoughts and your efforts. This is quality. However, unfortunately today I won't be taking a photograph of it because we're 15 minutes till the sunset and I'm sweating like a pig. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please take a second to give the video a quick like. It always helps out my content here on YouTube, and of course, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again, Kenny. See you on the next adventure. Whoa, out.